Hi everyone and welcome to today's card creation. I'm going to do a little bit of a non-traditional card with the new Jolly Holiday collection from Catherine Pooler being released in September. So I'm going to be playing with the Caroling Sentiment stamp set and dies, plus the nested oval dies and the Flamingo Beach sequence. So it is not something that you traditionally play with, which is the pink colors, but I love the pink and white and pearl kind of color combination. Something different. So we are using Christmas stamp sets, and it is a Christmas card, just non-traditional colors. I am going to make a shaker card component. I'm going to use the two largest dies of the nested ovals. I'm going to create a frame, and then I'm going to cut the large oval again on its own with the nested oval. So I'm going to ink blend, and this is going to be quite muted, so I'm actually a bit rough with my ink blending, and you're not going to notice the non-smooth effect of my ink blending skills here. Now, once I've put a layer of pink champagne, I'm going to put a really slight layer on the outer part of the nested oval with the cranberry fizz. This is brand new, and you can tell this is brand new when I don't even have a label on the top. So I'm just going to add almost a kind of depth around this pink, and again, you're not going to notice it because I am going to make it a shaker card, but the front layer is going to be with vellum. So here's my vellum piece. I'm going to heat emboss with Wow embossing powder in opaque, bright white in superfine detail, purely because I really want to capture all this gorgeous detail of the wording and this image that's embedded into the wording. So here I am with the sentiment. I'm using my Misty to keep it into place, and just in case if I stuff it up, I can re-stamp it in the same position. I'm going to pour my powder. I first lay down a copy paper, which I have folded in half, and I'm going to funnel it back into my jar straight away. This way I can have a not really messy free desk, and I'm capturing it and putting it back in. Now I've showed that I'm using my Wow heat tool. I'm going to be putting it on heat setting 2. So heat setting 2 has a higher heat. Now this is a thicker vellum cardstock, so I'm able to apply the same amount of heat, working a little bit more quicker, because vellum, even though it's a cardstock base, it is thinner. So I'm going to make sure I'm cutting that same large nested oval die, because I would like to make sure that's framed in the actual shaker component, and that's going to be my top layer. Usually you use acetate. I'm going to use vellum. So I have got my Belly Arts glue here. This is a newish to me. I've been playing it now with this glue for about 2 months, maybe a little bit more than 2 months. And it is slowly becoming my replacement for my Tombow Mono Liquid Adhesive. Now that's a big call for me. I am a creature of habit. I do have my favorites, and I'm slowly weaning myself off, and just once I finish it, I've been transitioning into this glue, and I haven't been disappointed. I've been using it for my sequins. I've been using it for my just everyday adhering to my card making. So it's doing the job, and doing the job rather well. Now I've got the Cerise thin foam strips here, and I'm just creating a little window frame. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the Flamingo Beach sequins. Flamingo. Yep, flamingo. I just had to put my glasses on. And then layering that bottom piece down. And then what I'm going to do is, I really didn't want this card to be overbearing. It is quite a simple, elegant card. To add that little bit of more elegant feel, I am using embossing powder, and I'm going to use white pearl. So it is a subtle effect, but very sheeny and beautiful and gorgeous. So tone on tone. with pearlescent. And then I'm just using this background stamp set here from Catherine Paula and pouring again the pearl powder this time. So I stamped directly on a white top folding card base, and this is Catherine Paula cardstock. And I'm just making sure I got a little bit of the excess away, and then just funneling that back in. So I'm making sure now that with the heat setting, I'm actually really careful on how I heat set this, because of the way heat setting goes with the warping. I was moving so that as soon as I could see any kind of warping happen, I was moving my heat gun along, and then I would go over again on that spot where it needed to make sure it got heat set. It ended up turning out really well. If you're ever, I suppose, seeing that warping, a technique I do is actually just put the cardstock through just the actual clean plastic plates through your big shot, and just actually run that through, and it flattens the whole panel in piece. I was just cautious in how I heat set. I was really mindful, and I was really watchful of what I was doing. And there you go. So it has a slight bend, but because I'm putting pressure on with the actual shaker panel, this straightened it out. And then I'm just adhering this down all over with my Belly Arts glue and making sure I'm centering that on my panel. Once I've centered that on my panel, I thought I would add the same sequence and just add a couple of that on the top. So I add 3 sequins only. You're meant to work in uneven numbers. I try to adhere that to the best I can. I'm not always religious with my crafting, with what I do. I kind of just go with how I feel and what appeals to me at the time. I have the recipient in mind most of the time, and just go from there. Once I've adhered these sequins down, that's really it for my card creation. It's really clean, simple, a little bit on the elegant side and a little bit of the fun side with the shaker component. So I hope you enjoy all the brand new goodies from the new Catherine Paula release, and all links are below, and it will be an affiliate link, and I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. See you later.